welcome Dr. Joe May, Assistant President.
It's been a great start to our conference, and it's so exciting for me to see so many people gathered to support community and technical college. In fact, we were talking, and let me again thank our the LCTCS Board of Supervisors who are sitting down front here, greatest board in higher education. Thank you so much for being here today. You know, looking today with about 1,600 people in today's audience here, I believe this is probably the largest gathering of higher education professionals, probably ever, in the history of Louisiana. Coming together for a common purpose. And I think you can't be here without getting a sense that change is in the air. And while that may be our theme, as you've already seen, for most of us, it's really a way of life. It's about how we do our business every single day. And as being a part of that, we're all changing lives and certainly making a big difference throughout the state of Louisiana. You know, for the last several years, we've seen something pretty remarkable happen, not only in Louisiana, but nationally as well. And that's the increased respect, the recognition of community colleges and meeting the needs of not only individuals and not only the workforce, but our nation as a whole. For the second year in a row, President of the United States, Barack Obama, talked about community colleges in his State of the Union address. And he said, and I quote, "We must give more community colleges the resources," or the word, resources they need to become communities, career centers, places that teach people skills that local businesses are looking for right now. I think that's an important phrase because it gets at the heart of it, understanding that the increased role of community college does require resources. It does require us to be the center of communities, and that's an expectation that increasingly people are having of us. And it engages us with business and industry, both for meeting the needs of individuals, employers, and communities across the United States of America. You know, something is also happening, and I think people are recognizing it as the role of community colleges is being more clearly understood by everyone. But no one more than what's happening with our employers across the nation and throughout the state of Louisiana. Like many of you, I've been in higher education a long time, over 35 years. And here within the last week, there was a headline cover story on the Chronicle of Higher Education, which most of you know is the national publication for the higher education community, that said something remarkable. It says, for employers, a college degree doesn't do the job. Now I saw that and I thought about it. And the more I thought about it, and then I read the article, and let me tell you what this means. You see, how many of you were like me that when you were growing up, you had a mother or father that said you were going to go to college? You had that happen to you? Hands all over. And let me tell you, I knew what that meant, didn't you? That meant I was going to go and get a 4-year degree. I understood that. We didn't talk about 2-year or 4-year. It was well understood, and I think that's what is understood across the United States today. When we talk about, for employers, a college degree doesn't do the job, what do they mean? They're talking about the 4-year degree. So something has happened that's really changed the role. And then, around Christmas, Forbes releases an article with the headlines that says, "Forget 4 more years, why community colleges could be your financial ticket." What's going on? And then, only about a couple of weeks ago, CNN runs a story with a headline, "Community college grads out-earn bachelor's degree holders." In fact, we thought that was unique to Louisiana, that for several years we've been aware that our 2-year graduates were out-earning baccalaureate degrees. And yeah, what has started to happen is every single state that's been looked at, they're finding the same thing. Last night, while driving home, somebody sent me a message that said, "Look at what's happening in Colorado. Headlines. 2-year degrees out-earn baccalaureates by 7,000 a year. Here in Louisiana, the Baton Rouge Advocate read a story, and with an interesting, provocative headline that said, "Value of 2-year degrees argued." Now, when you read the article, what you find out is there is no argument that 2-year degrees are out-earning baccalaureates throughout the state of Louisiana and have been for several years. And more people understand. So what's going on? And what's the driver of that? So what are the implications for us as we look to the future? Well, it's very interesting, because what it means is while expectations are high, we also deal in a little bit different world. Remember in the President's comments, he talked about getting the resources that we need to do the job. And that's been something that we have struggled with, and frankly, community colleges have struggled with across the country. This year, for the first time in the history of the nation, the average state had less state funds going toward their community colleges than they did tuition and fees. No different than what's happened right here in Louisiana. In this state, recently, we saw the executive budget release that put out, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase the headlines here. It reads, "Budget protects critical services like education," in the headline. Then the next day, an article comes out in the Baton Rouge Business Report that headlines, "Louisiana #3 in the nation for higher education cuts." So which is it? And I think that what we often get caught in, and that what we've been able to rise above to a great extent here at community and technical colleges in the state, is there's a political reality and then there's just reality. And how we get the job done. You know, so many of these statements are really not about budget, and they're not about what we do. They end up being about politics. And if we pay a lot of attention to them, we miss what's really important, and that's the role that we serve in the state. And right now, you can argue, as the headlines we put up a few moments ago would say, that we are maybe in one of the toughest fiscal environments in the nation related to higher education. On the other hand, as you've already seen in the 60 seconds of fame, weren't those great, by the way? They're outstanding. That we are getting some of the best results today in the United States, some of the very best from our colleges. So what's going on? Well, you know, I loved our speaker this morning because he hit so many topics that are so relevant to exactly what I see transpiring at our colleges all across the state. You know, I realize that every day people wake up with probably one or two worlds. There's a world in which they see everything as having limits and limitations, and whether it be resources or you name it, or they see the world as without limits. And the folks that see the world with limits, when things happen that kind of kick a little sand in our face from time to time, we react by giving up, perhaps settling for less than we would otherwise. Maybe we hold back and take a wait-and-see attitude because we've been there before, and if we just be still and quiet, things will finally get better. Or they just say, "I've had it, I quit, I'm giving up." Or, if you see the world of no limits, you take a very different approach. You focus on the problem and how to solve the problem. And there's only a few tools that you can go to do that. It's the ability to innovate, the ability to create something from where we are now, to invent or reinvent what we're doing. And that's exactly what has happened at Louisiana's community and technical colleges, because we couldn't be where we are today without that having happened. And I just was, as I was getting ready to come and talk to you today, and having just spent time on many of your campuses, talking with faculty and staff, I have to tell you, it leaves me so inspired. I leave the campus meetings going, wow, we've got some of the best people in the country who care about what they do, who focus on learning, helping people achieve their goals, solving the problems for business and industry, and they've done it while the whole world is changing around them. And what's all changed? Our very business model has changed as we look at what's going on in the state. As I mentioned a few moments ago, as recently as 2009, 73% of the higher education budget, the community and technical college budget, came from the state general fund. This year, 56% of our resources come from student tuition and fees. What a dramatic change in just a few years. We've seen our colleges transform. We've expanded the mission of several, becoming community and technical colleges. We've had colleges come together to merge, to provide greater services to the community. We've seen our many programs. We had a board meeting yesterday, and I was just kind of amazed as I went through the list of programs that we're closing and new programs that we're starting. And every single one of those new programs are being started aligned perfectly with the local needs of business and industry and the communities that you're serving. You know, we're just being smart about what we do. We've said for a long time that as colleges, we don't have needs, but individuals have needs, employers have needs, our communities have needs, and what we have to do is look at our resources, a way of meeting those needs. And you have done it day in and day out, without fanfare, without a lot of recognition for it, and yet people are noticing, not only here, but across the country. You know, we've had to make decisions over the last several years that are really hard decisions, because on one hand, we deal with the reality of a changing business climate, finance climate, changing expectations through whether it be performance funding, Grad Act, state support, tuition and fees, and then look at what's good for individuals and what's good for the common good of our state and of our communities. We've had to put mission ahead of everything else. And let me tell you, during disruptive times, there's nothing more difficult than putting mission first. And you've done it without, frankly, much thought or comment about it, because it was just the right thing to do. And making certain that we looked at the needs of students first. And I could go through a list. Each time I'm on a campus, I'm just, frankly, sometimes moved to the point I can hardly talk when I talk to students and faculty, people who reached into their own pockets to not only buy supplies from college, but to pay tuition for students, people who found a way to help students overcome transportation difficulties, to solve problems that got in the way of people achieving their goals and expectations, found a way to work with students after work in time when family illness or other problems emerge. And it's during these types of disruptive events that all that becomes more and more difficult. And we've had our share of disruptive events, haven't we? Whether it be storms, whether it be Deepwater Horizon explosions in the Gulf, whether it be plant closings in part of the state and new plants opening in other areas, all of these create disruptive environment in which we operate, and yet through it all, we continue to grow and excel, having over the last 8 years more than doubled enrollment at all of our colleges across the state. So as we look ahead, and I just love the theme of the conference that you're here today, Agents of Change. And I think, in fact, our community and technical colleges are actually the poster child for being agents of change. And I have to say, I got to put one of them up here that is out there. And Betsy, I know this was kind of meant as a joke, but you know, when I saw it, I said, you know, it may be funny, but it really reflects our attitude. No funding, no space, no problem. And we've done that time and time and time again. No resources, no problem. We found a way to make it happen. And that gets to, there's only one way that happens. That's through leadership, and that's through our people. You know, I've come to have learned over the years that without a doubt, we've got the best faculty and staff in all of higher education anywhere. And I'm very proud every day of what happens in our classrooms, what happens in our colleges, and what happens in our communities. Because, you know, one of the things I do enjoy talking to students, and that's the one thing I miss about being at the system level, is I don't get to do it as much as I used to. But every time they do, I said, tell me about your experience. 100% of the time, the first thing they do is they tell me about Dr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, and it's always a faculty member, someone who's inspired them and given them the the inspiration to continue to learn and to achieve their goals and objectives. And they will usually say, you know, this is the first time I've ever had anyone that believed me. I've ever had anyone that really took the time to help me be successful. And because we've been able to embrace change, at the same time keep focus on our mission, some great things have happened across the state. You know, we've done it with, again, not only external disruptions going on, but some internal as well. You know, yesterday, I know not all of you were here, but I had the great pleasure of introducing our 14 chancellors and technical college directors from around the state. Let me tell you, that is an outstanding group of leaders that I would put up against anywhere in the country today, and challenge anyone to find leaders that are more committed to the mission of two-year colleges in the state. And we've got new ones, 7 in 1 year, essentially. Baton Rouge Community College, Soella Technical Community College, South Louisiana Community College, Delgado Community College, Louisiana Delta Community College, Central Louisiana Technical Community College, its first chancellor, and South Central Louisiana Technical College all have new leaders. Isn't that remarkable? And yet we continue to move forward. We also saw all sorts of other changes that occurred in the state, creating in Central Louisiana Technical Community College. And that's really a fascinating story, isn't it? Because that rose out of the community, with community leaders coming to me and to our board. Our board will remember when the mayors from cities appeared at our board meeting one month to talk about why there had to be an expanded mission in Central Louisiana. Because they were, as they described themselves, the whole of the donut. That everywhere else in the state, there were all sorts of exciting things happening, and they felt that they were being left out, and they understood that they believed, and they're right, that the driver was having a dynamic, energetic, engaged technical community college within the community. And then we've also this year done some other things that not everyone's fully understood, but I think all of us in this room do, and that's we've expanded in opportunities by merging colleges. You know, one of the things as we've seen the growth of two-year colleges, it's in a couple of areas. It's both in terms of short-term certificates. It's in getting certificates of about a year in length and associate degrees. And those associate degrees, as you know, are of two types: those leading to a job and those leading to transfer. And it turns out both are important. As we've seen the dramatic growth at our colleges over the last several years, they've both grown pretty much evenly together. And we've had communities that had great technical colleges serving those communities, but we weren't able to provide the type of comprehensive programs that were needed. In other cases, we had the reverse, where two-year programs were available for transfer, but not the broad types of technical programs that lead to the jobs. And let me tell you, I think you know this, the jobs today that people get by graduating from our two-year programs are not just good jobs, they are the best jobs in the state today. And they're continuing to grow and expand, and we're aligned to help make that happen. So at East Louisiana Technical College became part of Louisiana Delta Community College, making a bigger, better, more comprehensive institution. Acadiana Technical College became part of South Louisiana Community College. Again, being better able to serve the needs of the community. But let me tell you, that type of change creates challenges, doesn't it? And yet, through it all, we didn't lose focus and haven't lost focus of what's important, and that's meeting the needs of students and serving communities. As mentioned earlier, Brian LaFleur was here and talking about what's going on in facilities across the state. You know, not all disruptions are the same type of challenge, but we've opened up within the last year 9 new facilities. I think we've done 14 total so far out of our 24 with the what we call Act 391, but 9 new facilities at Central Louisiana Technical Community College in Faraday and Winfield, at Fletcher Technical Community College, the new campus in Shreveport, with the main campus. South Central Louisiana Technical College, the Morgan City campus, on the North Shore, at North Shore Technical College, Technical Community College, the Florida Parishes campus, and the Ray Smith Early Childhood Center. At South Louisiana Community College, the Gulf area campus, and at Sowella Technical Community College, we've opened actually several facilities, including the Arts and Sciences building and the new Phillips 66 Process Technology building as well. All exciting additions. And we've got 8 more that we're going to see either break ground or come online in the near future. Never in the history of the state of Louisiana have we seen so many projects focused to meet the needs of so many communities coming at one time. And so as we look at coming up, we're going to be actually cutting the ribbon, and we've already occupied the Capillary Technical College, the West Side campus. Started on the Delgado Community College, Sidney Collier campus. At Fletcher Technical Community College, I was just there, have already poured the slab for the BP IPT building. At Northwest Louisiana Technical College, the Minden campus is well on the way. We'll soon be cutting ribbon there. At Nunez Community College, the Arts and Sciences building. At River Parishes Community College, certainly the main campus being constructed, and we're about to break ground, I think, next week on that facility. At South Central Louisiana Technical College, we're also in the process of continuing to add and expand there. And at South Louisiana Community College, the Evangeline campus will also be getting underway. So exciting things already happening, yes, absolutely. And that's changing the way people look at and think about community and technical college education in the state. You know, I was looking this year and I was aware of a number of things going on. And some of you may recall here a few years ago, I started at this event each year sharing with you private contributions, those donations that came in. And in those first few years, we put up a lot of donations. We would have 5,000 here and 10,000 there and so forth. Well, I got to tell you, this year, I've shortened the list a bit, and I'm not putting anything up this year that's less than 150,000. We've seen dramatic changes in the contributions coming into our colleges across the state. Some of you just missed that line as we've seen our donations grow. But it's exciting to see so many. This year, 150,000 to Bossier Parish Community College from Store Equipment Services. Sowella received actually several large contributions. The largest, 175,000 from British Petroleum. We received $4 million from British Petroleum for Fletcher Technical Community College, and I think probably what is the largest ever contribution in the history of our system. This year went to Delgado as a contribution working with, thanks to Woody O.J. and the U.S. Navy, $10 million into the Delgado Community College. Exciting to see that. And let me tell you what that means, because that's the real indication that people are starting to understand and believe in us in a way that they've never done. You know, people only give money to things that they really believe in, that they know that's going to take those resources and produce something from it that's positive for them, that they understand. And there's not a single person that writes a check, certainly not of that magnitude, that doesn't understand exactly how it's going to be used and what's going to be done with those dollars. And what we have are people understanding this. They're partnering with us in ways that we've never seen before. We've also other new partnerships, and some of these have been mentioned in the news recently. Others you saw in the 60 Seconds of Fame, but I want to comment about them. We just saw that Baton Rouge Community College and LSU teamed up with the new Tiger Bridge program, which allows students to experience campus life on a university while enrolled at Baton Rouge Community College. So they're living in the housing at LSU and attending Baton Rouge Community College. Well, we've also had that same program essentially between Bossier Parish Community College and Grambling State University, and with Bossier Parish Community College and Northwestern State University to meet those needs as well. And what we're seeing now is joining together with our four-year colleges and universities toward a common goal, really taking the best of both of our institutions, not building fences around us, but opening the doors and the eyes and the opportunities to students in new ways, using all of our resources in ways that better the opportunity for individuals while allowing people. And we know most of the individuals that go through that program will probably remain in Louisiana, being a part of our workforce in the economy. We also saw earlier today something that just kind of flashed up on the screen, but it's worth noting because we had another 2 firsts this year in innovative partnerships. You know, one of the things that has really changed over the years in partnerships between our colleges and business and industry has been the transaction that's occurred there. In the past, it used to be that the primary relationship was that they would give some scholarship dollars to us, and that they would help us in some way to hopefully support students in that effort. But now we're really engaged in solving business problems, whether it be the skills that employers need in order to be successful in their business, whether it be looking at problems that they face, such as turnover, or lost productivity time, new technologies that require additional skills and training in order to be able to incorporate them into the operation, or things like lost time due to injury. We've now developed across the state the ability to sit down and talk through those problems in very different ways. And I think we've had 2 events occur this year that are really the hallmark of that in so many ways. The partnership between Bossier Parish Community College and Bentler Steel and putting together that package where a brand new $22 million training facility is going to be built on the campus of Bossier Parish Community College to work and provide for the needs of Bentler Steel in the short run and the community at large in the long run is a remarkable investment. And also believe in our college. And good ideas continue to blossom and bloom. We've now seen Sewella Technical Community College partner with Sasol for a new $20 million industrial training facility to be located, I was going to say on the campus of Sewella Technical Community College, but then even seen better news. We're acquiring the 13 acres where the trailer park is across from the campus. The new facility is which will not only improve training opportunities, but certainly improve the looks of the campus and provide, I think, something that's going to be serving that community for generations to come. You know, last year and the year before, I've shared with you also the tremendous growth that's occurring at our colleges, and we continue to do so. What's just amazing to me is that how many colleges we have year after year end up in that top 50 fastest growing colleges in the nation. And once again in this category, we have the #1 for the past year. Louisiana Delta Community College was the fastest growing in this category this past year. We have the #3 at Sewella Technical Community College. 4th in this category, South Central Louisiana Technical College. 5th, Bossier Parish Community College. 6th, Delgado Community College. We jumped to 18th for Capitolaria Technical College, and then 29th for River Parishes, which previously had been a #1, as well as Bossier Parish. And that's hard to do, to keep that kind of sustainability year after year. But we've seen that happen. You know, and as we were getting ready for the conference, our planning committee had a great idea, and I've seen a few of these buttons around. If some of you seen these buttons, and we can maybe put it up here that says "I'm a change agent." Have you seen these around? What I'm talking about? As I understand it on campus, some of these were handed out to people. Do we have some people here that received those? Would you clap if you received one of those? I want to do something right now because I want to recognize several groups and individuals in here. And I want to ask everyone that got one of these pins, if you would, to stand up, and if you would just stand up right where you are and remain standing here for a few minutes. And I want to do some things. Great, great, great. Just congratulate those folks. I want you to remain standing if you would, because I'm going to ask some other folks to join you, because what's happened across our colleges, and I put up a lot of firsts and a lot of good partnerships, but I want to recognize a couple of things that I think are really pretty spectacular. And I'm going to ask some folks from several colleges to stand up. A couple of years ago, the federal government put out a program called the CCT program, the Trade Adjustment Act Community College Career Training Program. And we had a number of our colleges apply for it. And we, this past year, led by Bossier Parish as the lead institution, but Bossier Parish, Baton Rouge Community College, Delgado Community College, Louisiana Delta Community College, and South Louisiana Community College were all part of that consortium, received a grant, and it was put up earlier, of over $14 million for the state. My guess is the largest federal grant ever to come to community technical colleges. If you're at one of those institutions as part of that consortium, would you stand, please, and let us express appreciation to you and your college and everyone there. Bossier Parish Community College, Baton Rouge Community College, Delgado Community College, Louisiana Delta Community College, and South Louisiana Community College. Now, Nunez Community College wasn't part of the consortium. They received the only single college grant awarded in Louisiana. Don't sit down now. If you're at Nunez Community College, would you stand up, please, for your receiving over $3 million through the PAA-CCCT grant. I want to acknowledge a few others. Delgado's already standing, but this year they were recognized as having the 6th largest professional nursing program in the United States. Congratulations to Delgado. Sewella Community College was number 10 in terms of the number of engineering technologies and engineering related graduates in the nation. Congratulations to Sewella. I won't folks keep standing here. This year, and I'm going to go through a list here. As you see your college name called, jump up if you would. We had 6 of the top 100 degree producers of 2-year certificates in the nation. People talk about we're not producing degrees. We were 6 in the top 100. 1% of the higher education enrollment in the nation in the top 6% of producers. South Louisiana Community College at number 11. River Parishes Community College at 29. 43, Sewella Technical Community College. 51, Northwest Louisiana Technical College. 59, Central Louisiana Technical Community College. 63, Capital Area Technical College. Congratulations to all of you. That's exciting to see that. We had 10 of the top producers of 1-year certificates, meaning those are the, yes, number 1 in the nation, number 1, South Central Louisiana Technical College. 18, Central Louisiana Technical Community College. 21st, Capital Area Technical College. 30th, South Louisiana Community College. 34th, Northwest Louisiana Technical College. 61st, Louisiana Delta Community College. 67th, Delgado Community College. 88, Sewella Technical Community College. 89, Fletcher Technical Community College. And 91st, North Shore Technical Community College. Ladies and gentlemen, we represent about 1% of the enrollment in the nation. And we have over 10% of the certificates being produced of a year or less. That deserves a round of applause. And all of you be recognized. You know, we've really been dominated in so many ways. And I think so often, as we're doing our work day in, day out, we fail to recognize what others see. And that's that we're going above and beyond. We've set expectations and we're exceeding those expectations in so many ways. You know, and we're going to continue to do that, folks, because I know what's going on in our colleges. I know the tremendous work that's taking place. And as we look to the road ahead, many of you have heard me share some information with you as I've been going around the state lately, because I've come to a realization that if we're going to have the type of Louisiana that we all want to see, we're going to have the type of communities that we want to have, raise our children in, raise our grandchildren, and support our families, be able to live and work in. That we're going to continue to have to grow community and technical colleges because we are the key in so many ways to the success of our not only individuals, families, communities, business and industry, but the state as a whole. And we've set a goal that we're looking at. This past year, We enroll in the fall semester about 73,000 students in our colleges. But we've set a goal this year, and we've said that in order to get to where we need to be, we're going to have to grow our colleges to about 220,000. That's a stretch. And that's going to take all of us working together, and we're going to have to continue to find ways to reinvent, innovate, and create. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the group right now that can make it happen. I couldn't be prouder to be a part of the Louisiana Community Attendant College System and working with the best and finest community attendant colleges in the nation. Thank you very much. Notice that at some of your places, at some of the table, there's an envelope marked top secret. How many of you peeked inside? For the theme of the conference, as you see, is change agent. And we had some pins made up. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's not enough to go around. I think that we have about 1,100 of them that are passed out today for those. That pin looks something like this. I would like one person, if you've got an envelope there, to open it up to distribute the pins. And you'll need to help each other with this. In fact, get a pin. Let's stand up at this time, and let's do a little bit of a pinning ceremony. How about that? Where's our nurses? If you've got a pen, let's take that, and once you help your neighbor with that. Ladies and gentlemen, you are change agents. Congratulations to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't miss your peer group session at 4:15 today. And you only have a few hours left to visit all of our exhibitors and get your cards stamped for valuable prizes to be given away at 5 p.m. Remember that you do not have to be present to win one of the grand prizes, but there are many other prizes for which you do have to be present. Don't miss the fun and a chance to win.